Donald Trump missed out on winning a Nobel Peace Prize and he is not happy about it. The President of the United States sent a text message to the Prime Minister of Norway with a chilling message. He said, "Dear Jonas, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect the land from Russia or China, and why do they have a right of ownership anyway? There are no written documents, it's only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago, but we had boats landing there also. I have done more for NATO than any other person since its founding, and now NATO should do something for the United States. The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control of Greenland." Online commentators had mixed reactions to the letter, with Democrat Harry Sisson saying, "This is insane. Trump just wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of Norway essentially saying, you didn't give me the Nobel Peace Prize, so I'm choosing to invade Greenland because of it. This is insane. It's about to get a lot worse." Whilst pro-Trump commentator Eric Doherty revelled in the letter, saying, "This letter is vintage Trump." Trump's warning came after Norway's Prime Minister sent him a text attempting to de-escalate tension between the US and NATO allies, as Trump digs his heels in deeper into acquiring Greenland.
Well, we're going to see NATO has been dealing with us on Greenland. We need Greenland for national security very badly. If we don't have it, we have a big hole in national security, especially when it comes to what we're doing in terms of the Golden Dome and all of the other things. We have a lot of investments in military. We have got the strongest military in the world, and it's only getting stronger. And you saw that with Venezuela. You saw that with the attack on Iran, with the knocking out their nuclear capability potentially. So, we're talking to NATO.
And Trump sent a strong message to NATO nations to show he is not bluffing on this, suggesting he will apply a tariff to all countries that oppose the US acquisition of Greenland.
Put a 25% tariff, which is, by the way, about 7 times more than they would have to pay by raising their drug, like 7 times. This wasn't like a little bit more, 7 times more. And I may do that for Greenland too. I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security. So I may do that. I'll give you a little, I'll take you out of that. In fact, that'll end up being the story. But actually, this is a much bigger story because we're reducing healthcare by numbers that you haven't seen.
Trump is losing allies fast in relation to this, with the UK's Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, diplomatically saying Greenland should remain part of the Kingdom of Denmark.
On Greenland, the right way to approach an issue of this seriousness is through calm discussion between allies. And let's be clear, the security of Greenland matters. And it will matter more as climate change reshapes the Arctic, as sea routes open and strategic competition intensifies. The High North will require greater attention, greater investment, and stronger collective defence. The United States will be central to that effort, and the UK stands ready to contribute fully alongside our allies through NATO. But there is a principle here that cannot be set aside, because it goes to the heart of how stable and trusted international cooperation works. And so any decision about the future status of Greenland belongs to the people of Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark alone.
Reform UK leader Nigel Farage was in rare agreement with Keir Starmer, saying he will be speaking with Trump's team over the threat of tariffs.
Whether Trump's bluffing or not is always difficult to tell, but to use economic threats against the country that's been considered to be your closest ally for over 100 years is not the kind of thing we would expect. It's wrong, it's bad, it would be very, very hurtful to us. Now, I think we're in a position where we can negotiate. We're not tied by European Union trade rules. That does give us an advantage in these negotiations, but I would just say this, I'm all for Trump taking out enemies of the West, Maduro, the Iranian regime, but if he falls out with his own allies and leaves America isolated, that would be a very bad place to be. So I'm worried about it, I'm concerned about it. I've always been a supporter of the president since way before he got elected first time, but I will be having some words with the American administration in Davos on Wednesday on this issue. It's wrong.
And whilst Trump is battling his own allies, the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, Venezuela's opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, extraordinarily visited the White House and presented President Trump with her Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Committee hit back at the symbolic act, saying a laureate cannot share the prize with others, nor transfer it once it has been announced. A Nobel Peace Prize can also never be revoked. The decision is final and applies for all time.